1 Corinthians 16, verse 14, is about abounding love for people. It says, "Let all that you do be done with love." Pastor Moody had by far the largest Sunday school program in all Chicago, bursting at the seams with more than 1,000 children. That was such an amazing feat. Even more amazing, he founded the program in a notorious part of Chicago nicknamed Little Hell, using an emptied-out saloon that was surrounded by some 200 bars and gambling dens. This district of northern Chicago, commonly known as the Sands, was a cesspool of sorts, inhabited by the most hardened and dangerous elements of society. At night, crime was rampant and went unchecked. The children who lived in this ramshackle neighborhood were the poorest of the poor, with parents or guardians who were alcoholics or drug abusers. The vast majority of these children were neglected and ill-mannered and seldom went to school. So how did Moody manage to attract such large numbers of these children Sunday after Sunday to learn from the Bible and sing Christian songs? The same way he attracted both individuals and multitudes all through his 40-plus years of ministry, with a genuine and compassionate love for them. When Moody began recruiting children for Sunday school programs at various churches around Chicago, he was distressed that problem children like those from the Sands would show up once and never come back. The needs of these children were vastly different and simply weren't being met. Nor were they accustomed to sitting still, behaving quietly, and studying printed lessons with others who had come from better social and economic backgrounds. Moody's heart went out to these little misfits of society, and that's when he came up with the idea of renting an empty saloon in the Sands and setting up his own Sunday school program. He thought up many innovative ideas for drawing the children, such as offering them pony rides as he rode through the streets, or giving them oranges and peanuts and candy from his pockets. Once the children came, he gave them something more important than that they all longed for, and in most cases weren't getting anywhere else: love. When they saw he really cared about them and wanted to help them, they were won over. His son, William Moody, said that once children became a part of the program, his father looked after them, visiting their homes if they were absent, and taking such a warm and practical interest in them that they became devotedly attached to him. An 1867 issue of The Advance, which is a Christian magazine, said this about Moody's ways with the children: "He goes to the door when the bell rings so as to take each child by the hand. He has a word for this one, an admonition for that, and something for all. Much of his success is due to the personality of his efforts. It seems," they said, "that if all Christians were as earnest and devoted, not a state, but the world might be taken and held for Christ." Elsewhere we read that he devoted his spare time and money on behalf of the neglected children of the Sands. Time and strength and money he spent freely on their behalf. One of his employees testified that he had known him to supply as many as 20 barefoot children with shoes in a single day at his own expense. If Moody discovered that a child's parents were in great need or sick, he would prepare a basket of fruit, coal, blankets, and other such necessities to drop off at the family's home. Moody himself pointed out love as the essential element to winning a responsive audience. Moody said, "If a Sabbath school teacher does not love his students, if he goes to them as if it was a lesson he wished to get over, it will not be long before they will find it out." He continues, "They will see it in his eyes and in his face and in his actions." And so, says Moody, let us see the necessity of having the love of God in our hearts. Moody said, if you go from a sense of duty, you will make no progress with them. But if you go to them and talk to the love of Christ and show kindness in your actions, they will hear you. It was Moody's love for people that drew men in. They welcomed him because he had genuine care for them. His love was real and spoke volumes to them. Let's talk about winning people by kindness. Abounding love was one of Pastor Moody's dominant traits as a spiritual leader. Fellow preacher and dear friend Henry Drummond said of Moody that none can stand beside him in terms of his sheer goodness and will. W.R. Dale, a minister in England, said Moody could never speak of a lost soul without tears in his eyes. Biographer John McDowell said Moody won men by his kindness. Dr. Charles Gross noted that tears start to the eyes of those who knew Moody well, all at the thought of the absolutely inexhaustible depths of his love for all living things, horses, dogs, cows, animals, and birds, all excited emotions of his heart. In the realm of human love for all classes, he was a master passion. And the biographer Gamaliel Bradford put it well when he said, Moody carried men with him because he preached to the heart and from the heart.